What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about a brief explanation of the First Crusade. So let's get right into it. The First Crusade began when Pope Urban called for help against the Seljuk Turks. He decided to make a bishop called Bishop Ademar to become the leader of this crusade. However, many peasants, very excited to get into battle, even though they had no training, left quite a bit before the crusade was actually scheduled to begin. Part of the problem was that Pope Urban said that people would be freed of all their sins if they decided to go on this crusade. One particular peasant named Peter the Hermit was very excited to go. He talked about all the horrors he'd seen in Jerusalem and rallied peasants from the countryside to come on the crusade. One group of peasants, led by Walter son of War, left early and reached the gates at Belgrade, but the local lord was really confused and didn't let him in. As a result, Walter son of War pillaged the Hungarian countryside until Byzantium guards came and then escorted his group to Constantinople. One other group went pillaging the German countryside, killing every Jew they could find. Many lords and nobles tried to hide Jews, but they would come and attempt to kill them. When they finally reached Hungary, the king of Hungary was enraged and definitely did not let him in. However, when the People's Crusade reached the battlefields, many ran away, including Peter the Hermit, who was scared of how disillusioned his crusaders had become. It's safe to say that the entire peasant army was destroyed and offered two options: convert to Islam or death. Most chose death, but some, including one specific commander, converted to Islam. 40,000 who left Europe, only 3,000 came back. Finally, the real crusade was gonna begin. The five leaders, Hugh of Vermandois, Geoffrey de Bouillon, Bohemond of Taranto, Raymond of Toulouse, Robert of Flanders, all gathered their armies. Hugh may have had the smallest army, but his army was of most noble blood. Godfrey de Bouillon had a little bit of beef with the Pope because he had helped remove the Pope from Rome and install an anti-Pope there. Bohemond had one of the most experienced army, although his army had gained that experience from trying to conquer the Byzantine Empire. Raymond had the largest army and so had expected to be the leader of the crusade, although the Pope had chose Bishop Ademar instead. Robert of Flanders made it to Constantinople with no pillaging, no looting, absolutely no problems, and had no beef with anybody, and was one of the most normal armies there. Before the crusade began, the Byzantine king, King Alexius, had made all of the crusaders swear an oath to return all formerly Byzantine land. When the crusade began, it was completely deserted because the Turkish king, Kilij Arslan, had seen how terribly the People's Crusade had gone and had expected no much better from the Prince's Crusade. After the Crusaders took Nicaea, the king realized it was a big deal and launched a surprise attack on them. However, the Crusaders were able to hold off long enough until Raymond, who had the biggest armies, reinforcements came. Now, this is just a funny thing I noticed. When the Crusaders were going to Jerusalem, they had two options. They could either go from the Taurus Mountains, which was faster but most dangerous, or the anti-Taurus Mountain, which was slower but less dangerous. So it's kind of funny how they have two opposite things there. They sieged Antioch for months, even getting attacked by a Turkish relief force. However, the Turkish relief force got really scared and retreated. During the siege, many tried to leave as they saw scary events happening, such as comets and other scary things in the sky. They were finally able to take the city as Turkish troops left. However, they got sieged out by another group of Turkish relief force. They were able to escape, even though having low morale, after thinking they had found the Lance of Longitus. The Lance of Longitus is a spear which has thought to pierce Christ's body while he was hanged. However, disaster struck. Hugh's army left after trying to deliver a message to the Byzantines, but giving up. Another smaller commander left and telling a large portion of Byzantine troops to retreat, as they thought that all hope had been lost. So a lot of the army, including Byzantine support, had been lost. They also did not have support of Bohemond, who was managing Antioch after the Byzantines decided to leave. After months, they had finally reached Jerusalem and prepared for the final siege. Raymond's larger forces failed as their tower got destroyed, but Bohemond and Tancred's tower managed to survive, and they were able to get into the city. There was a massive bloodbath as the Christians started massacring in the masses, and some accounts say there were blood up to their knees. Tancred, however, had tried to save some Muslims by giving them his banner. However, they still died. That is the interesting story of the First Crusade. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and click here for our newest video, and click here to see a suggested video. Other than that, thanks for watching. Peace out.